We are officially on the road, and I'm really excited about this. So, overcast day, it's 33 degrees. It is 12:38, and we're on our way to Charlotte first. Our flight doesn't leave out until around 7, I think, right?
6:20.
Okay. And then we're basically all night on a plane and landing in Germany their morning time, so that'll be a rather interesting transition for us. I'm excited though.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts, Trish?
I'm just excited. I'm glad we were super prepared early. It's been a super no stress leaving the house, packing. I don't know. We did a whole lot ahead of time, which is just the way we like to do things, so that we're not stressed and pressured and hurried and rushed, and I just don't like that. So
our initial plan had been, at least my thinking, was we were going to try to do the trains and stuff in Frankfurt, but we ended up with a couple suitcases for gifts, and with all of that in hand, we knew it would be a little bit much to try to port all of those bags running through the airport and try to get onto a German train. So anyway,
if we had our own private jet, we'd be leaving from that airport. That's right around from the house.
That's right. So Gabby's going to be picking us up. We're excited about getting to see her and then talk to her for an hour. We'll get more time than that, but of course it'd be kind of nice to see the countryside a little bit. We're going to stop off for gas and top off the tires with air. It's been a few weeks since we've actually driven this car much. So we want to get it all prepped. So when we arrive or back in Charlotte on our way home, we have no problems.
All right. Bon voyage.
Bye, guys. Trish, I have a question for you.
What's that?
Are we there yet?
Nope, not yet.
Not yet. This is December, and we've had a lot of things happen in the month of December. We left you hanging as we wrapped up with Wes's football season kind of coming to a close, and I mentioned in the last episode that we were going to take a trip to Germany. And so really this episode is going to primarily focus around December as a whole, with the exception of Christmas. We haven't quite got there, but you can see behind us in the decorations, Christmas is upon us. But let's actually jump back to December the 9th, Tuesday. What did we do?
We took a trip to Germany to see Gabby, which turned into also getting to see Nick.
It was fantastic. So for those who don't know, Nick is our son and Gabby is his wife, which makes her our daughter, and we fully embraced her as our daughter. December the 9th, Tuesday, we already had our flight booked months in advance, and so here we are heading to Charlotte, because that's where we're going to take off from. And on the way from Moore County, on our way to Charlotte, it takes us through 2427 through Albemarle. So we grabbed cookout for our meal for the day. Guess that was technically a late lunch.
Yeah.
So Trish is on her way, and we're gonna hit the road, finish out the next leg of this trip.
I was working on the road because I didn't want to take that day off because I wanted to use my days off while we were actually out of the country. So.
And that was your last day. Technically working for that week, because we're going to be doing our trip. One thing that's kind of funny, I think, in retrospect, is we're not people who like to be late to anything. We will go out of our way to be extra early. And so, what time was our flight, and what time do we actually get to the airport?
I think the flight took off at 6:45.
Yes.
And we got there around 2:30 or 3.
So we were way beyond our 2 to 3 hour window.
I wasn't mad about it.
Oh no, I really enjoy it because we have a good time just sitting and fellowshipping, and also it gave you a place to sit with internet to try to get some things done for work.
Plus, just flying internationally, which we hadn't done together before. And we're pretty light packers, even for big trips, but we had an extra bag, so we wanted to make sure that we were just maneuvering the airport well and checking things properly, and that we would, if we ran into any glitches, there'd be plenty of time to manage it before we had to take off. So.
Yeah, and one of the things I did, there's actually something for you guys to know who decide to travel. Something you can actually save some money on is to do a search for the local airport's day rate, and you can prepay. And so this is actually super convenient. This is for the day rate for long-term parking. This worked out really, really well for us, especially when we came back, because literally all you do is leave. It's already paid, and it was very convenient.
I think we paid for that.
Okay, so we are in Charlotte. Airplanes are in the distance, and we're waiting for the bus to pick us up as we will wait a few hours and then fly overnight to Germany.
Working in the airport.
Yeah. So uneventful. Getting here was nice and easy.
Yeah.
Looking forward to our extended stay over in Germany with Nick and Gabby.
We took off 6:45 on Tuesday night and flew across the ocean, landing in Frankfurt, Germany. Now, I did not get very much sleep. I probably got little 30-minute increments here and there.
Might have gotten an hour and a half total between all the little cat naps, maybe.
Yeah. But we actually used something that Trish came across, and I'm not pushing drugs, that's not what this is.
It's all homeopathic. I bought it on Amazon. I figured it was a good time to give it a shot, like why not?
And it actually worked really well.
Right, it was a jet lag remedy kind of thing.
And so we'll share a link.
Yeah.
No benefit to us, but man, it actually was a great thing, because even though by the end of Wednesday we both were kind of brain dead and couldn't process, we didn't feel bad, which
my body felt good, and then I think both of our brains kind of finally hit the point where they turned off, but we were still going, and we were like, why is my brain why can I not read words anymore? What's happening?
And that is one of the funny things about Germany too, is you land and you're looking at things that totally look like you should be able to read it, because it's got all the same letters, everybody looks the same. And it's just kind of this unique experience to see words and kind of make sense of them, but it's not English, so that was a whole play. So we landed on Wednesday morning, and we actually were 30 minutes ahead of schedule, though we had a good tailwind, the pilot said. So that was really nice, and the food was decent for airplane food.
Yeah.
So we arrived in Frankfurt at 8 o'clock in the morning. Gabby picked us up at Terminal 2 around 9:45, 10ish.
I think.
We
might have it wrong. I don't know.
We were doing some back and forth phone conversation with her while she's driving and trying to figure out where we were at and how to get to us. And so that was an interesting endeavor. And I'll put my glasses on to help me read a little bit. She drove us to her and Nick's place in Stuttgart. And what was fun to me was we took the Autobahn, and I've heard about this all my life. My dad in Vietnam, before heading over to Vietnam, actually was stationed for a small bit of time in Germany, and they got to drive a tank on the Autobahn, which he always talked about being kind of cool. So on Wednesday, after we kind of got settled in, got our stuff unloaded.
We also oohed and awed over the apartment, because Gabby has done such a great job that it felt like we were coming home. It was so comfortable.
After we kind of got settled in, took a minute to recoup ourselves, then we drove downtown Stuttgart and went to the Christmas market. So this is our first time and Gabby's first time. She actually held up going until we could go with her. And that was a fabulous experience. But what was your initial take of the Christmas markets in Germany?
It felt like we were in a movie, and I kept sort of having to remind myself, we're in Germany. We're literally in Germany right now. It was wild, because we didn't land in Germany at night, go to bed, and wake up in Germany. We landed in Germany and spent the day just in Germany. Like, that's just what we're doing.
That's what we do.
It was so cool. I did immediately, all the smells were different and good and rich, and definitely what struck me straight up was so every little booth, which were little cabins in the market that set up, they all decorate their own sale space, and the top of the cabin, the roof of the porch of the cabin, and everyone has a different idea and theme and whatever, and the colors that were used were just okay, red and green we're not doing that anymore. Gorgeous mixes of jewel tones and stuff you wouldn't expect together, burgundy and orange, and copper and pink and some blues. I don't know, it was so cool. And I found myself taking a lot of pictures of how they used color so differently, and it was so beautiful.
It was really invigorating in a really nice way.
Yeah.
Again, I think I agree with Trish. The smells were unique, and because they're not our typical even state fair smells. State fair in the United States, particularly North Carolina, we're familiar with. It just kind of has a greasy fast food,
Smells
deep
like
fat
fried and super sugary.
Right, and I mean that's fine, but when we're there, the smells were totally different. There's a lot of baked goods smells, a lot of they have some really interesting foods, and we'll talk about those in a little bit. But it was really a savory experience in the smells arena. The visuals, the colors were amazing, and what I like is they take it to the next level. There's nothing just like a booth and they're selling things. It's like the whole thing is just a presentation to itself.
Yeah, they take the attention to detail to the very extent. They fill out every bit of everything they have to do with detail, attention to very minute detail.
Right.
Which we found everywhere in everything that we did.
I agree completely.
It was really refreshing.
It was.
To have the very obvious focus on, we care about how this looks, all the way to the places you can't even see. We're going to make sure that looks really great too.
And while we were there, we were kind of overwhelmed with what to try, what to do. And we didn't do a whole lot of taste testing the first day, but we did get chocolate covered strawberries.
Oh yeah.
So those were actually delightful. And while we're downtown, we're like, okay, we should grab something to eat. And we're kind of trying to discuss what would be good. And ramen was the thing that was decided upon. So we had ramen in the first night in downtown Stuttgart with Gabby. And then we went back to her place and crashed for the night. Literally, I think I was falling asleep on the couch before we even made it to bed because we were just kind of out of it.
We ended up trying one type of Kinderpunch that first night too while we were out, right?
That's right. It was,
And that
an
was-
apple flavor.
Yeah, that was apple based. It just tasted to me like warm apple juice. There was
It
nothing
did. There wasn't
different.
really anything happening with that one. Thursday is December the 11th. We drove to Baden-Württemberg. If I mispronounce,
come at us.
I apologize. And we were there to see the Ludwigsburg Palace, and it's just named the Versailles of Swabia. And I think Swabia is kind of a neat name, but Swabia is the area of which Stuttgart's a part. And tours were not happening, but do take a look online at some of the things on the internal of this place. It's like 450 rooms. That's huge. And it's on, I think it was 30 some acres of land. There's 4 different large buildings that's a part of the estate. But we didn't get to go to the inside. We did walk around a little bit in the front, and everything was just kind of pared down for the winter.
Even winterized, the grounds were just good. They were
Oh, yeah.
large and beautiful and well kept. I mean, obviously it's not spring,
Right.
but it still was lovely, I thought.
And when we were at the front of this palace, looking to our left, I could see off in the distance the spire of a church steeple. And I thought, well, let's just walk a couple blocks up that way and take a look at what's there. And what did we find?
Another Christmas market.
Yeah, and this was a really neat one. It was totally different than the other. And this was interesting is because technically they all are kind of the same. You know, a lot of the same kind of things are being sold at each of the markets. But the way they present and kind of the vibe of the different Christmas markets are unique. And this we found after going to 4 different Christmas markets. So the one in Baden-Württemberg, we really liked. Gabby got a cheese corn dog,
yeah.
and there was no dog involved. It was just a long, deep fat fried block of mozzarella cheese, which after a few bites, she was stuffed. Beautiful little community, though. We really enjoyed walking around there. Again, the smells were inviting. Everything was exciting. And we did end up buying a Christmas gift for Melson.
I'll say too that one had, to me, just walking in, an even smaller town feel. But I did love the vibe at each of the markets we went to. Was so, you could tell people were just out to, you can tell that's just part of what they do for Christmas. It makes
Right.
it Christmas. And so everyone's jovial and friendly. You can tell maybe they don't know each other, but it doesn't matter. It's like you would see in a movie. It was wild. I loved it.
So we drove back to Stuttgart and we went to the local museum. This is called the States
House.
Gallery or State House. And we only saw a small portion of this museum, and we were there for a couple hours, I believe.
I think so.
it's just, we were kind of at the end of our day and tired also because our shift in time. But it was really lovely. We enjoyed the museum. We were in the new or modern era, and kind of there's a whole room dedicated to Pablo Picasso. There's a lot of great artists that I'm familiar with from my studies. My background was actually commercial art, so that was kind of fun to go through and see these paintings and things by great artists.
It's unfortunate that I turn into a middle schooler sometimes when I go into art galleries, and I make up funny phrases when I see a piece of art, and then I'll like record it and send it to the kids. I joke around way too much. This is called Adam and Eve, but he said, get that. Anyway, I have a good time. I do appreciate the good art too. It's just I always cut up when I'm supposed to be quiet. I don't know what that is. Funerals. Just quiet things that I tend to get tickled really easily or think of things to make me laugh. So,
and we left from there, walked back to the car, went back to Gabby's place, and she made curry for us.
It's divine.
This is kind of fun because she's taken my recipe and made it her own, and she said she's pretty much made herself sick of eating curry because she does it every week.
It's so good.
But it's absolutely delicious. Let's see. Then we went to sleep. And then Friday, this was a fun day because we drove to Esslingen. Now, I probably said that completely wrong, but Esslingen was absolutely gorgeous. Love the community of Esslingen. What's really neat is all of Germany has old places, but there were some unique aspects to Esslingen that was really quite divine. A number of beautiful churches and cathedrals there. The community is built around the water, so absolutely lovely to see.
This one felt more hilly too.
It did.
Like where we walked. Everything we walked on through markets was like cobblestone, and it was, again, just like a movie.
And what's neat with here is the two cathedrals. The first is St. Dionis, and this has a nice bridge at the very, very top. We didn't take up the route to try to take that bridge. Then there was the Münster St. Paul. This was a lovely cathedral, and what I liked about it was the ceiling that had the blue tone. And then also, along with the vaulted ceilings, it also had gargoyles around the outside, which were really neat. The Christmas market here had two sections. There's the traditional market, which was like all the others. But they also had what's called the medieval market. The medieval market was really neat because it was as though you step back in time.
Even further.
So it looked like you were maybe around the 1500s. And so they had people in period costume. Yeah. And here we tried the Kinderpunch that was more of a grape or a berry flavor.
Preferred that.
And this was really good. So Kinderpunch, Kinder means child. So this is kids punch. This is what we drink because, and it's non-alcoholic kids punch. And it comes, like I said, in apple or grape. And we both preferred grape. And it's warm. We've explored Stuttgart and Esslingen, but the trip's just getting started. In part 2, Nick lands, Bandit loses his mind, and we head to France.